Hi, I'm Nancy Crane, and I work here as a counselor at the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services. How can I help you today?
Well, my name is Amber Carson, and this is my new baby. He's only about 4 days old. His name is Doug. And at the hospital before we left, they did some kind of test, and they just gave me this paper, and it said that he was deaf, and I just don't know what to do. So they told me to come to your office.
You did the right thing by coming here today, and they did the right thing by recommending that you come here today. We can help you and provide services and information to help you with the baby. And with this program, we're able to help you develop a better understanding of and let you know about the resources that are available to you. And we can also help connect you with other agencies as well that can provide education programs for children that are deaf and hard of hearing, and we can put you in contact with a language mentor if you would like to learn sign language and how to better communicate with the baby and develop those language skills. What do you think? I know this is a bit overwhelming right now, and I know it's a scary time. I understand that. So you've really come to the right place. You really have.
I'm really scared. I just don't know what to do. I've never even met a deaf person, and there's nobody deaf in my family, and there's nobody deaf in my husband's family. We just don't know what happened, and I don't know how to use that sign stuff, and somebody said don't sign with the baby, and I just want him to be able to hear my voice.
Well, you said the baby's only 4 days old. So maybe in time, maybe after a few months, you can go back to the physician and get another hearing test and get a second opinion, because often the first test isn't always accurate, and you go back for the second test and it's not conclusive. Like, it can change over time for children. So it's also important to check their milestones for hearing as they grow older. So how the test really works is it charts how the baby's brain processes the sound waves, and that chart shows the different sound waves and frequencies.
So how do I talk to my baby right now? I mean, he's nursing and things, but...
Oh, of course you can go ahead and use your voice and talk and make noise around the baby now. You know, you can coo at them and use baby talk. It doesn't matter if they're deaf or not. You can go ahead and use your voice. If he's deaf or not, you can go ahead and use your voice.
So the only way I can talk with my baby is to do what you're doing?
No, there are other ways. Also, sign language is just one way. You can use body gestures and facial expressions. But there's also visual cues that are involved. It's not necessarily sign language, and it doesn't mean you have to learn sign language right away. You or the baby doesn't have to learn sign language right away. And then the other way is oral method. There's an oral method.
If Doug is completely deaf and you do an oral method, is he going to hear anything, or would it be better to use some visual with him?
Yes, it would be better to use visual cues, like, for example, using flashcards or pictures and then signing them. Signing can actually help babies process and pick up language better, speech better. Because when you speak to them, they'll be able to sign it back. Babies actually pick up on manual
So you're saying that
methods
Dougie's
faster.
going to be able to sign to me soon?
Well, it really depends if we set up a DMP or a deaf mentor program for you, where a deaf individual will come to your house and they'll sit with you and discuss the program. And what they'll do is they'll teach the baby sign language, and then you'll copy the deaf individual, the teacher, and emulate what they're doing and copy, and you'll both learn the sign language, you and the child. And it's not only for you, the whole family can be involved. And it's important that the baby develops these language skills for later in life. And we want to do that as soon as possible, whether they're deaf or not, whether he's deaf or not.
I think that's just really great if someone could come to my house, because my husband, Jim, and I, we decided that Dougie should be at home. And so I have put in a leave of absence from my work for the first year. And could the mentor come at night? My husband works until about 3.
Yes, of course. The deaf mentor is very flexible, and we can set up and discuss expectations of when they can come to your home and what works best. And you'll work that out individually together. You'll discuss that in person with the mentor about what schedule works best for you. And remember, this is for your brother, your sister. The whole family should really be involved in that program so they can all learn to communicate with the baby.
I feel a little better. I just have one last question. So if other things come up, and I mean, we don't know what to do in 6 months or a year or 2 years, is this a place where I can come to get more information, or can you just help me this once?
No, of course, you can come back. And feel free to contact me at any time. In fact, I have some information I want you to take home with you. So this is a parent's guide, and just lists all the basics of the program. And this is information for education of children that are deaf and hard of hearing. And this packet can answer any questions you have about just general hearing loss. And this is our agreement to services with the parents, and our promise and commitment to parents of deaf and hard of hearing children. And this gives you information about different events and what you can do with your baby, and different family events, not just related to education, but really the deaf and hard of hearing community. What we'll do is we have a program, we have a parent support program, to where we'll put you in contact with other parents of hard of hearing and deaf children, and we'll ask them permission to give you their information so you all can create that support system and contact each other.
Yeah, this is so new to us. We're just not sure what to do. As I said, we have no deaf experience at all, and so this was pretty frightening when we found out. We just didn't know what to do. I mean, we love him because he's our son, but I want to be a good mom. We want to be good parents.
Of course, and that's a perfectly normal response. This is something scary for anybody to go through, and for something that's new for any parent. So I'm glad that we can set up those contacts for you, and those contacts and that support system is really important.